we can go P or Q naught, because we can flip them, which is actually the previous one. So it's 4266, the exact same. These are the same, just written differently. Now this one says the set P prime numbers less than or equal to 12. So P is going to be, what do we start at for prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Remember, 1 is neither prime nor composite. The definition of prime is 1 in itself, correct? So it needs to have 2 factors. Only 2 factors. F is the factors of 12. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. And then U are the natural numbers from 1 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Natural number starts with the number you count at. And then they gave it to us in a Venn diagram. So the overlap between the two was 3, 5, 7, 11 is just prime, 2, 4, 6, and 12 are just factors of 12, 1, 8, 9, and 10 are not prime, not factors of 12, right? Make sure your phones are away. So write the smaller of the 2 misplaced digits in the first box. Well, let's see. So here we should, what do they share in common? 3, is that right? Yep. Then prime would have a 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. So I'm missing the 2. Wait, wouldn't it? Why? Because it has a 2 on a factor and a 2 is prime, right? So it wouldn't be here and it wouldn't be here. It would actually be here because it's shared by both. We agree? Then we have 3. Here we'd have, what are we missing here? A 1. Then we'd have 2. Oh, wait, that's in the middle. 3. Oh, wait, that's in the middle. 4, 6, 12. And then here I'd have 2 and 3 in the middle. 5, 7, 11. Then on the outside I should have, I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, I have 4, I have 5, I have 6, I have 7, I have 8, 9, 10, and 11. So what are the misplaced digits? Smaller has to come first, largest comes second. 1, 2. This one gets done wrong all the time. It's a sad place to be, but I'm okay with it being wrong because then we won't do it wrong on the test. So maybe you did it right and you're a rock star. That would be even better. So we have concert, band, and music only, concert, band, and music neither. Where do we always have to start at? On a Venn diagram. The middle, and the middle is what? It's 22 because it's the and, correct? What's crazy about this is you always have to start at the ands, but you can also start at onlys. Why can you start at onlys? Like concert, band, only. Why can I start there? Because it's not including the middle. It's just sitting there, right? I don't have to do any subtractions, do I? When it says only. So onlys you can actually throw in first because it's only in that one spot. So this is concert band only. So I'm going to get 41 here. This is music only. So I'm going to get 37 here. I do not subtract, which is where the error happens. People subtract. You don't subtract when it's only because that's the music only spot, right? And then 16 on neither. When you add these all up, I think you get 100. 41, 37 is 78. Oh, it's 116, yeah. 78, and then 88, 98, 116. I think if you subtract them, you get 100, isn't it? Maybe? I don't know, someone would have done it. Now here it says, the number of students enrolled in music. Music circle has 22 and 37. So that's 59. The number of students enrolled in music or concert band. It doesn't say music or it says music or concert band, or is the snowman. So I'm going to get 59 plus 41, which is 100. So in this or snowman is 100. Then it says the number of students not enrolled in concert band. So if it's not concert band, I cover up the concert band circle, and I'm going to add up 16 and 37. which is 40, 52. 53. Not 2. That makes no sense. 7 and 6 is 13. 53. Did you get 53? Now this one is different than the other one because it doesn't say only, right? It doesn't say only, so we will end up subtracting. Okay? So here it says, all the grade 11 students at a local sports school were surveyed about which fitness activity they would like to take in grade 12. The results of the survey are given below. So we have weight training and cross country. I don't know what's going on. We have weight training and cross country. That's not annoying at all. Let's get carpet of some sort. So we always have to start off with the ands. Weight training and cross country is 13. Now when we put the 13 in there, how many people are already in weight training? 13. How many are already in cross country? 13. So there are already 13 in those circles, correct? So now I have to have weight training of 35. So in the weight training, that's at 34. Why did I say that? In the weight training circle, I need to have 34. I already have 13. So how many take weight training only? 21, because this needs to add up to 34. Now, if that had said weight training only, I would go here and put a 34, correct? Now, cross country has 39. I already have 13 in here. So how many are cross country only? 26. This is the one I'm going to subtract from. And then neither is 28. They're like, nah, I would rather not do any of those. So how many are in the universal set? You add them all up. So 26 and 21 is 47, 50, 60, 88. Then here it says the number of students who would not like to take cross country. So if you messed up your Venn diagram, all these questions are going to be wrong, right? That's why filling the Venn diagram and it's so important.
I always purposely ruined my photos as a child.
Yeah, they'd be like smiling. I'm like, no.
All right. So this question says, how many of the students would not like to take cross country? So we look at the cross country we covered up and we do 21 and 28, which is 49. And then the number of students who would like to take weight training or cross country or is the snowman. So I add up the snowman, I get 21 and 26, which is 47, 50, 60. Boom. That's it. We done. So we have to say how many students are on student council. Awesome. There are 15. How many are on both student council and yearbook? 3. It's the and is the eyeball, the overlap. On the yearbook committee, but not on student council. So that's the same as saying yearbook only, which is how many? 7. And then student council or yearbook is the snowman. There's too many phones out. Put them away. It's going to be 22. 12, 3, and 7. Number 2, it says in homeroom of 20 students, so that's the total. 15 take math, 12 take social, 10 take math and social. Do any of these say math or social only? No, so we're going to have to subtract. When it's math and social only or math but not social, stuff like that, that means you don't have to subtract, right? But this one doesn't say that. So I have to start off in the middle. It said 10 take math and social. So 10. So there's already 10 in math currently, and there's already 10 in social currently, right? So in math, it says that 15 take math. So how many take math only? 5. And then social, there's 12. How many take social only? 2. And then how do I figure out the outside of the box? Add them all up. 10, 5, 2 is 17. And how many should there be? 20. So how many are on the outside? 3. Now it says, how many students take neither math nor social? It'd be 3. You're going to do example 3. We've already done it before. You're doing it again. I don't give you the and in between. Try it out. How do you solve it when I don't give you the and? I have to give you the total, each one separately and the neither. Let's go. So when I do not give you the and portion, when I don't give you the and portion, but I give you each separately, the total and the not, you can add them all up. So we go 285 have a PBR, 320 have an MFP, 63 have neither. When I add that up, I get 668, I believe. I can fly. So I get 668. That's all the little tickets I got put in. Okay? Then I subtract off the households, which is 400, and I'm left with 268 in both. Okay? So I draw myself a Venn diagram. Myself. M, P. Okay. In the middle, I have 268. How many are just in M? 320 minus 268.
320 minus
It's 268. 50.
52.
Yeah. And then how many are just P? 285 minus 268.
100.
17. Good answer. And then leftover is 63. All right. Write an expression. Ahem. I'm here. Hello, teaching. Up here. Okay, write an expression for the number of households who have an MFP and a PBR. So M and P equals 268. And write an expression for the number of households who have a PBR but not an MFP. So PBR and, because remember, but not is just like and not. That. And whenever you have an and with one of them being negated or complement and one not, remember it's just the crescent moon. So the answer would be 17. What? No. And then write an expression for the number of households who have an MFP but not a PBR. So M and not P, which is 52. Okay, we're going to look at this question. On the back are the numbers that are written, so I'm just going to write them up here. So I have the Venn diagram shows the number of students who did English homework E, math homework M, social homework on the weekend. None of the students did homework for any other subjects. They were like, not today. So, social is by itself.
Yeah.
So the people who did social only did social, basically, right? Some people who did English did math. Some people who did math did English. There's 7 of them. No other overlap. So we're going to look at the back. It says N of E. N of E. How many would it be? N of E. 18. Good answer, Alexa. Then we have N of E, but not M and not S. What does that just mean? It means E only. You chose to sit behind a really tall person. That backfired
I'm also
miserably.
really tall, okay?
True. If you want to just like jut a little to the right, though, that might help you.
Oh yeah, it does.
There we go. Instead of trying to climb up.
It's not the same difference.
Okay. So this means just E only. 11. Then we have N of E or S. What shape is E or S? Snowman. Is there an E or S snowman? No. There technically is just 2 separate balls that are not connected, correct? So we have to do 11 and 7 and 14.
Snowman's gonna go off.
True, it's just rolling. So 11 and 7 is 18 plus 14 is 28, 32.
Yeah.
And then we have N of E or M. E or M. Thank you. She did. So E or M is the E or M snowman, right? So we go 11 and 7 is 18. 19, 39. And then we have N of M, but not E. What is that just the same as? M, but not E. M only, right? So it's 21. Oh, Amelia, look at this here. You can grab it and I'm going to go sit. Okay. So here it says, Jamal surveyed 34 people in gym. Let's highlight stuff that matters or underline it. So he surveyed 34 people in his gym. That's the what? The total. He learned that 19 people do weight training 2 times a week. 23 do cardio 2 times a week. And 6 people train fewer than 2 times a week. After today, what you have to decide is if it's a 2 circle or a 3. This one is it's actually just a 2.
I knew that. That's why I put up 8 fingers.
Right. So 19 do weight training 2 times a week, 23 do cardio 2 times a week, and then 6 just don't even hit the 2 times a week. Okay? So let's sketch it out. Oh, wait a second. They didn't give me the and. How do I find it? Did they give me each single, the total, and the not? Yep. So I can just add them up and subtract the total. So I can go 19 plus 23 plus the 6 we didn't fit in there. So I get 48. However, I only have how many people? 34. So if I go 48 minus 34, I get 14 overlapped. So weight training, cardio, 14. How many of weight training only? 19 minus 14, which is 5. Now it doesn't say weight training only, so I have to subtract, correct? Because there's already 14 in there. If it said only, I would just put the number in. The next one says 23 did cardio. There's already 14 doing cardio. They happen to also be doing weight training. Oh my goodness. So we're going to do 23 minus 14, which is 9. And then there's 6 on the outside. So here it says, how many people weight train and do cardio? 14. How many people only do cardio 2 times a week?
6, 5, 9.
Third time's a charm. Example 6, we're going to go through and we're going to answer questions off of a Venn diagram, a 3 circle, and then after that we're going to fill in a 3 circle. We're going to learn how to fill them in. So, quiet please. The Venn diagram displays the results of a survey of 100 students. So I know that there should be 100 in this entire box, correct? Regarding movies they watched the last 2 weeks, P is Pulp Fiction, C is Crash, D is Die Hard. So here it says, when we go through our circles, let's go through what these things represent. Paying attention. The very middle represents watching all 3, correct? Then like between here, this eyeball between P and D is watching P and D, correct? So remember the eyeball represents and of 2 things. The 2 circles together represent or of 2 things. And if it's onlys, you're going to look for 68, 17, and 3. What if I asked you how many only watched 2 videos? Or 2 movies? Watch 2 movies only. I didn't specify what 2 movies. 2 movies only.
Yes.
It's a number.
Maybe?
No, which ones represent 2? Only watching 2. So the middle one says watching all 3, right? These little pieces here represent watching 2. Right? The 1, and the 2. Okay, so that's the representation of all the different things. So here it says, how many students watched only Pulp Fiction? How many? Which number represents only Pulp Fiction? The 3. One that's by itself. How many students watched Pulp Fiction? Now what am I going to have to add up? The whole circle, the whole numbers in the circle. Because Pulp Fiction only was 3, but Pulp Fiction, they just happen to also watch other things, the 1, the 6, and the 1, right? But they're still watching Pulp Fiction. So 3 and 6 is 9, 10, 11. The 3, the 1, the 6, and the 1. The next one says, how many students watched Crash and Die Hard? So when we do and of two sets, and is what shape on a Venn diagram? The eyeball. So we're going to go the Crash and Die Hard eyeball, which is here. This is the overlapping eyeball. So how many watched Crash and Die Hard? 8.
Wait, but when Crash and Die Hard and Pulp Fiction be included because it's the same?
I didn't say can't include Pulp Fiction. I just said Crash and Die Hard.
So if they were saying that, it would be only Crash?
So it would say Crash and Die Hard only, or they would say Crash and Die Hard but not Pulp Fiction. Yeah. So if it just says this and this, you go do the eyeball. Count your 2 numbers, move on. The next one says Crash or Die Hard. What shape is or? Snowman. So we're going to go along and we're going to actually circle the whole Crash or Die Hard snowman. And we're going to count everything up. 68 and 2 is 70 plus 17 is 87, 88, 89, 90, 5. All I do is math
You're really good at
every day. I've been teaching it since 2006. If I can't add up 6 numbers, you're in trouble. Good luck on your diploma. But not every single day and not as your only thing. I only teach math all
That
day.
is true.
Why would why?
But why can't I just be a pro? Why can't I just be super good?
Why can't everyone just like me? That's what I feel like, okay? But it's not true. So then I'm sad. It's fine. That was a joke. Okay. How many students watch all 3? How many? 6. Not all of them. That's not true. How or what does the number 2 outside the circles represent? What is this 2 outside the circles?
I didn't watch any movies.
Wow, yes. People who do not watch any of these 3. Not who do not watch movies. They can watch movies. They just who don't watch Crash, Pulp Fiction, or Die Hard. I love how it's running my letters together. So awesome.
That is awesome.
What does the 2 inside represent? Crash and Die Hard, but not Pulp Fiction. This 2 here represents Crash and Die Hard, but not Pulp Fiction. Crash and Die Hard, but not Pulp Fiction. So I could write it like that. Or I could say Crash and Die Hard only. I could just write Crash and Die Hard only too, right? Okay, we're going to go through filling in the 3-circle then. So I told you that we have to fill in from inside out, correct? Middle out. It's not an option. So when we filled in a 2-circle, we filled in the and of the 2. Now when we're filling in a 3-circle, we have to fill in the and of the 3. Make sure you leave enough space to actually write a number in there. We'll draw it so tiny and then they can't see it. So let's go through and see what this even gives us. It says Shannon's High School starts a campaign to encourage students to use green transportation for traveling to and from school. At the end of the first semester, Shannon's class surveys the 750 students. When I get a total, especially on a 3-circle, I'll go out here and I'm going to write 750 so that I do not forget at the end to make sure that I filled in all the spots. On a 3-circle Venn diagram, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots that should have numbers. If you don't have 8 spots filled in by the time you're done your 3-circle Venn, you're missing something, okay? And it's often the outside number. Okay. So 750 students in the school to see if the campaign is working. They obtained these results. So 370 students took public transit. Does it say public transit only? No, so this whole, I'm going to start labeling. Public transit, cycle, and walk. So the whole P circle here, I'm going to have 370 students. Can I just start filling it in now?
Yeah.
No, that's going to be what, one of my last things I'm going to do, once I have all the other little spots filled in. Then 100 students, cycle and public transit. So cycle and public transit. I still can't fill that in either because it's the eyeball shape and I'm missing the inside. Okay? Then I have 80 students walk and public transit. Still can't fill that in because I need the middle. 35 students walk and cycle. Can't fill that in because I still need the middle. 20 students walk, cycle, and use... Ah, there we are. Hello, my friend. Yes, you are the person I need. So I'm going to put 20 in the middle. And then I'm just going to finish writing out the rest so I have my acronyms. 45 students cycle or use public transit. And then 265 walk or cycle. Now remember I told you the order you have to do is the all threes. Then you have to do the ands. Then you do the single ones, so the single circles. And then last you can do the ors. Because you have to go from smallest shape to largest shape, correct? The smallest shape is this middle one. Then the next one is the eyeball shape. Then the next one is just the plain old circles. Then the last is the snowman. It's the biggest shape, right? It's 2 circles. Okay? So once I have the middle, I can go to the ands. Now, it says here that 100 students cycle and use public transit. Does it say cycle and use public transit only? If it said only, I would go here and I'd put 100 in this spot right beside the 20. 100 would go here, correct? But it doesn't say only, does it? And cycle and public transit is actually the eyeball. How many are already in there? 20. So how many actually cycle and public transit only? 80. So the only time I don't subtract is if they have the word only, or they have cycle and public transit but don't walk, or something like that. Okay? So we're done this one. I'm going to check it off. Then we have 80 students walk and use public transit. So now I need to go to the walk and public transit eyeball, which is this one. How many are already walking and using public transit? 20. And I need 80. So how many do it public transit and walk only? 60.
I said 60.
Then we have 35 students walk and cycle. So in the walk and cycle, I need to have 35. I already have 20, so I'm going to have 15. You try and fill in the other ones. Make sure you start next with the 370. Yeah.
How many circles can you have in the Venn
As many as you want, but we're maxing out at
As many
3.
as you want?
But we have 3 maximum.
So you're saying I could have like a Venn diagram with like...
Lots. So, for public transit circle, I need to have 370. How many are already doing public transit? They're doing other stuff, I don't really care. There's 160 in here, correct? And I need 370. So how many do public transit only? 210. So I'm done the plain circle. Now I can go to the oars. I can only go to the oars at the end. Now, if I want to do walk or cycle next, look at the walk or cycle snowman. There's actually 2 pieces missing. So some people are like, okay, I'll just subtract the things there and then divide by 2. Can you do that?
Yeah.
No, that's just silly, right? You were just testing me. Stupid. Okay, so we can't do the walk or cycle first because there's 2 pieces missing. So I'm going to look at the cycle and public transit. So if I look at the cycle or public transit snowman, this is the snowman, I'm only missing 1 there, correct? So I'm going to do that one first. Then once I fill that in, then I'll only be missing 1 for the other one. So in this snowman, I know I have 370 in the circle, 385, and I can have 445. So how many am I missing?
Just a little bit.
60. 385 to 445 is 60
Wait, so did you just add up all the numbers that are
in the snowman
in the
from 445, yep. And in the W or C snowman, that's this one. Same thing, but they should add up to 265. Well, they should be less than 265. So it's 100, and then 120 is 220, 235, and I need to have 265, so this is 30. Now I told you, you have to watch yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces filled, but on a 3 circle I need 8. What am I missing? The outside. So if I add these ones up, I get 265. Then this is 465, 475. So I need to go 750 minus 475. $475, $750. 25 to get me to 5. 200 to get me to 7. 275. So here it says, how many students use green transportation from traveling to and from school? It was 475. No, it was what the three circles added up.